got my derriere down on this bench here. What a lot of faffing I had with this bench, what I'm sat on now. A friend of mine, George, he come over. He comes over, he has a natter on. He sat down on my bench and his backside went through it. Well, what turned into replacing one lat ended up replacing 3 lats. And a job what should have took 10 minutes took nearly 3 days. But I'm going to show you the clip in a moment or two, and you get to understand the reason why it took so long. It wasn't that I was working on it, it was just at the time I had to go and get more wood and all. Anyway, that'll be coming up very shortly. We've got a couple of other clips as well. We're going to be doing a potato reveal. Them potatoes what we got £4, I think it was about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Well, we're going to do another reveal, see if they've got any bigger. So that'd be interesting to know. And also, I've also got another series of clips on weeds. Yeah, you've heard it, weeds. The weed what you would normally throw in your compost bin. Well, some of these weeds have absolutely got fantastic medication, cures and what have you. They're good for midge bites, for clotting blood, you cut yourself. Good for rheumatoid arthritis. Some of them are even used in cancer treatments. Anyway, that'll be coming up as well. And there's a couple of clips there which can tell you without even having to dig, your ground up, whether your ground's hard or soft. They'll be coming up pretty much at the end of that clip. We're also going to be doing an harvest of some tomatoes out of this greenhouse and cucumbers and what have you. I'll show you them as well. So where do we start? Well, let's start where I'm sat. The bloody bench. Oh my god, what a nightmare. Here it comes, guys. This is what I had to do. Let's show you what happened and show you what we had to do in the end. I might as well have changed all the lats, to be quite honest with you. Well, never invite your mates over with the big fat backsides. It's just finished my chair off here, so I've got a piece of wood here. I just marked it. So I'm just going to cut it, drill a couple of holes, and then sometime in the week I'll give it a lick of wood paint, just to match the same colour. Although saying that, I might have to paint the whole bloody bench. When I start that, I'm going to have to do that one, that one, that one, that one. So it's going to be fun. Anyway, I'm just going to cut the line there, 1200 long. Cut a line, drill an hole, 20 milli that end, and then just put new bolts in, and away we go. So we'll be right back after I've chopped it and cut everything up. We've got my drill and everything else here to hand, so it won't take me 2 minutes. Brush. Really. I was going to use this thing here, just dip it in and just wipe it on like. However, I've got a proper brush now, so I don't need to faff about. I've just found it in the greenhouse. That's a good brush as well. So what I will do, get a plastic bag and put it in a plastic bag, and then tomorrow I can use it to touch things up with, and it stays damp. Anyway, I'm going to give them a lick of paint, and tomorrow we'll replace this thing. Like I say, it's only took me 2 minutes to pull it off. Got my angle grinder. What I will do is I'll cut the head off this one as well. Take this one out. I mean, look at this. This one's ready for going as well. So I'm going to take that one out. Give it a lick of paint, or the other one a lick of paint, and then put the two of them in together, and I think we'll be good to go. I've got these bolts in the house, so it's just a matter of bringing them down and putting them in. I didn't have any intentions of doing it, but like I said, my mate George, he sat on it just about an hour ago, and he snapped it. So looks like that one's going to go as well. So it might be wise to replace these four, or these two as well. The only trouble is I've only got enough to do 2 lats. Anyway, let's not worry about that for now. Let's just I might even take this one out in a minute, and yeah, I think that's what I might take this one out, grind it off, and then it'll all be ready for tomorrow. It'll take me 2 seconds to put it all together. So that's what I'm going to do. This one's coming out as well. There we go. And what we do, I'm going to rip that out of there, rip that out of there, And what I do is come on with my grinder in come and get my grinder out of the car and just grind them off there. Grind that one out and just put, like I say, brand new bolts in. So it's a 2-minute job really. Anyway, that's another one gone. So that's 2 for firewood. Anyone wants some firewood? There you go. It's there. There they are, they're drying nicely. So what makes it worse, what really riles me, guys, I went looking for the bloody brush and there was already one in the bucket there, just dipped in, a big thing. It's just typical, that, isn't it? Anyway, I'll give them one more lick of paint before we're done. And then tomorrow morning we'll put it all back together. And everything should be lovely. Well, that's the idea anyway. And if I can get another piece of wood, I'll replace that one there, which is going as well. You can tell this is where everyone's favourite place to sit. But yeah, the way to keep your brush dry is to, like I say, keep it dipped into the paint, or put it in a plastic, wrap it up in a plastic bag, and it'll keep moist for months and months. But I'm going to be using that tomorrow, I think. So I'm just going to put the lid back on it, and we'll come back to this. But yeah, this will be done tomorrow morning. As soon as I get these bolts, and they're sitting on my desk at home, I know where they bloody are. Unfortunately, unbelievable. Well, come to fit these lats in my chair. However, that one needs changing as well. I can see there. I put the first one in, and I come to put the second one in, and then heavy-handed me snapped it in half. Can't believe I snapped it in half. Anyway, so what I've got to do now, I've got to go to an hardware store, probably Wickes or B&Q, and I've got to buy myself another length, which is going to cost me about £6.50. I know they're not. I know they're not. I think you can buy 6 for about 18 quid, but that's where you're buying 6. If you're buying them single, I think they're a bit dearer. But I only need one, so now I've got to go get in the car, which is there, and drive up into probably Swinton or Trafford Park. I'm not too sure which would be the best place to go, and get myself a length for that. Unbelievable. Can't believe I've snapped it. I even painted it yesterday and it was all dry. They're all dry, ready to go, rock and roll. I even got the bolts here. In fact, I might have a bolt there. These are the bolts. That's a spare one. However, I've lost a nut off that one, so what I will do is when I get the piece of wood, I'll get a couple more of these, because I'm going to replace that one as well. So yeah, this is my mate. This is sat his backside down on there, and he snapped it, and it was that one what snapped there is the one what he snapped. So I've replaced that one. That gap there twice now. This would be the 3rd time. Unbelievable. Oh well, I could just put that one there to there. However, I've got to move this chair, this table as well. Move it this way about 8 inches so you can get inside there. It's a bit difficult having to sit in there. You can get in, but it's a nightmare to squeeze past the arm there. Anyway, here we go again. I'm just gonna go and sort my chickens out before I do anything, then we'll head up there and get another piece of this wood. I can't believe I've done that. What an idiot. Well guys, this is deja vu. Yesterday I got my piece of wood out of the shed, one of these, and I cut it to size, and I painted it all up, left it to dry. I come on this morning, I put the first one in, and I come to sit the new one, that one in, and it must have had a weak part of it, and as I pushed it to put it in, it snapped. So here we are again today. I've got a couple more. This one's going in the shed for spare. I've just marked this one out now. I'm going to cut it in a minute with the saw. I drill the holes, I've got the paint, we'll paint it, and somewhere I've actually got new bolts. In fact, I'm going to replace this one as well, because this one's going as well, so this is coming out. I'll replace that one. I've got me grinder to cut the bolts out. I've got new bolts for this one as well, so this one's going to be replaced, the next one and that one. I can't believe it. Bloody nightmare. Thanks George, fat backside he's got, and he bent it. Actually it was going, so it's not his fault, but I'm going to blame him anyway and get it fixed. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'll just set the camera up here and show me doing a little bit, cutting it with a saw, and I'll show you when it's all done. But this is all the gear I need. Brushes in there, drill, everything else, whole 9 yards, all ready to rock and roll. So we'll have at it, and like I said, I will cut that one out as well. Or I might just break it. I bet I could break that, but push down hard enough. Nope, I'm just going to have to cut it with a saw and replace it with a new one. You can see it's a different colour. It's obviously, these have been painted over and over again, so these three is going to be that colour, and we'll get it, tone it down eventually, but right at this moment in time, all I'm interested in doing is cutting that. So that's what we're going to do. Cut it, drill it, get them ready to rock and roll. Right, so all I've got to do now is give them a lick of paint and bolt them up. So anyway, we broke that one out. What we're going to do now is just grind these bolts. Here we are again. Second time lucky. Think I could have found a bigger brush. What do you reckon, guys? It was either that or getting a new brush out of the car and having to clean it. Would you believe that brush has been in that bucket there for nearly 2 years? And it's kept lovely and soft. But then again, it's been dipped in the preserver. I've just fitted these lats and just give these another coat of paint. Tomorrow we'll give it a proper, give it another coat and it'll darken it again. We'll do the whole thing, I think. We'll probably end up doing all of them, and that one over there as well. Thing is, it's looks like it's going to be some rain here today, so this will be dry in the next hour or so, or next 20-30 minutes. It don't take long for it to dry, this. However, I don't want to continue doing all this and it starts to rain. So we'll do it when it's a nice warm day, sun shining out. We'll do this. They'll be dry next to no time. But yeah, the main object was repairing one broken lat. We ended up replacing 3 of them in the end. I've got another spare piece of wood, so if anything else goes, we can replace it. But right now, job's a good one. Won't be able to sit down until tomorrow though. Well, there's plenty more chairs to sit on the allotments to sit down on, so I'm going to find one of them. So as you saw there, couldn't believe it, put the second one on and it broke. I thought, good God, so yeah, what a lot of faffing about. Anyway, we've got it done, it's painted. We will be painting all the furniture, but we've got big dirty black clouds there hovering over us at the moment, so you can't really paint everything. I like to paint the sheds. In fact, I'm hoping for some new wood chips so I can top dress the paths and what have you. At the moment, the wood chip's not very good, so I've not done it. Anyway, next thing I'm going to show you is potato reveal. So let's have at it. Get down the back of the plot and show you what we've been doing. All the leaves have all died back off this now, so I'm going to see what we've got here. Now, the last lot, about £4. I reckon they would have at least done a third better. So I'm hoping for £5 here out of this bucket, but we won't know until we get stuck into it. Anyway, I'm going to pull the top off and see what's in the bucket. So I've got my scales and I've got my bag. So let's get the bag ready. Make sure I've turned it on. Yep, the camera's rolling, so see if I can mess this one up, eh? So spin the camera around so I know it's pointing at the bucket. They don't look too bad. Right. So, I'm going to flip the bucket over and see what we got. Very soggy, that's what we've got. Right, let's get me bag out. Not too bad. Nothing alright, it's just covered in muck, that's all. So see what we got here. I'm going to have to try and do this in between the ice cream van and the rain. So that's what we're dealing with here at the moment. It's not stopped raining all bloody week. These are better than the last lot, I can tell you now just by looking at them. Look at that there, the skin's just peeling off them. Now all the others were tiny ones, as I remember last time. These ones I've given them a bit longer, they've had a bit more time to grow. I think we've got them all out. Right. See what we got. This is where it all goes pear shapes. Set the scales. Come on. Oh great. They do work, or they did work. Oh, here we go. So now we need to set them to pounds there, kilos. So they're set to pounds. So put that in there. And we're not going to bend them this time. So they're the spuds. And there's the, I don't know if you can see the weight there, £6, £6.3 3.5, call it £6.4. That's nearly £6.5 anyway, or 6 1/3 of a pound. because these go like, you go up in 10, 8, 9, 10, then you go to 7 then, so just short of £6.5 they are. So anyway, we'll give them a wash and see what they look like after we washed them. So yeah, I knew leaving them a few more weeks we'd get a few better spuds out of them. So yeah, the last lot we had was £4. Well, these have doubled in weight, so well worth waiting an extra few weeks. Now I'm going to just tidy up here, and we'll get back up to the front of the plot where the coffee is, because I'm feeling very thirsty at the moment. Well, this is where I clean my wheelbarrow, clean the spuds. Well, just tip that out, put fresh water in, and we'll be good to go. Well, that's what they cleaned up like. Alright then, aren't they? £6.5. I can live with that. We've cleaned the potatoes up as you just saw there. We've also lifted some rhubarb. Fancy rhubarb pie tonight, so that's what I'm going to make. And I'm going to have a steak and potato pie as well, I think. And then potatoes are going to be a big part of it when I get home. But yeah, we've been busy today. I've got a few tomatoes I'm going to harvest as well in a moment, and cucumbers and what have you. Don't know if you can see in the greenhouse there. They're all going red inside there, so I need to go in there and start picking them. I'll get a few of them as well, I think, but that's if it doesn't rain. But yeah, nice haul of potatoes there. Well, that was well needed, this, I tell you. After all that faffing about with that blooming bucket. Yeah, £6 4, 5 ounces. It wasn't too bad. I can live with that. I've left the other 3. In fact, there's 5 more buckets of one and another 3 of another. I can't remember what they are now. Maris Piper, Plantain Javelin. We've done some. Think what they are. Anyway, next time we're down there we'll check them out and we'll tell you. But yeah, nice potato reveal, so I'm pretty chuffed with that, and that's what I'm going to use for my dinner today, hopefully. New potatoes, that's what they are. You can see them just flicking. Oh, it's starting to bloody rain again now. Anyway, where was we? Yeah, I've got these clips on of some of the weeds. And what it was, a friend come over, she says, "Oh, I've been stung." I said, "Well, go and rub some." I forget what it was now. Plantain. I said, "Go and rub some plantain on it." She said, "What's that?" I thought, "Oh my God." Anyway, found some and put it on. Eased the pain for her. And I thought, oh, we could do a video here on all the weeds. What everyone tends to throw in the compost bin. No one gives them a second thought of what the properties they've got in medication. So I thought, yeah, well, let's go there and let's show a few of these what these weeds can actually do for you. So here's a few clips now showing you some of these weeds, what everyone would normally throw in the compost bin, and a couple of them can tell you whether your ground's hard or soft. So here guys, it comes. What you're looking at here is comfrey, and this, if you can have it growing on your plot, the more the better. Now I haven't got it on my plot, but I've got it on my brother's plot, and this is where it is. And I come over and harvest it from time to time. Now, things that you don't know about this stuff is it's really good if you've got diarrhea. It's great for treating diarrhea. It's also good for treating stomach ailments and stuff like that. And the leaves can also be used for relieving pain and inflammation. It's also good for scar reduction and burn relief. It's really versatile plant. And not only that, it's good for rheumatoid arthritis. Again, it's so versatile. And the other upside to it as well, comfrey tea, a fertiliser, a liquid fertiliser for your plants. So this is one weed that you want on your allotment if you can have it, if you can get it. Anyway, let's move on, because this is the first of a few things I'm going to show you today, I'll talk about. But the comfrey is well worth having. I think you all know what this is. I'm sure you've all been stung by it over the years. It's nettles, and here's another thing what people don't realise about nettles. Not only can it give you a nasty sting, but it's also good for inflammation, hay fever. It's also good for blood pressure and keeping your blood sugar levels down. That's just among some of the benefits that it's good for. And again, this is another one which you can turn into a liquid feed, and you can actually make a tea out of this as well. And the next thing I'm gonna be showing you is something which the cure which grows alongside the nettles, and not too far away from these nettles are some dock. So we're going to have a look at the dock leaf and talk a bit about the dock. So let's move on. But these are good old stinging nettles. Bloody awful they are, especially if you fall in them. What you're looking at there is the famous cure for nettle stings, and you can often find it right next to the nettles. And now this is no exception, but if you look there, there's a load of stinging nettles, and right there, right next to it, is the cure. So you don't have to look too far. You fall into nettles, you don't have to look too far away for this leaf. And like I say, you rub it onto what's you've run your hand across it, and you got your hand's caught it, and your hand starts to sting. Well, rub some of the sap off the stem onto it, and it'll soothe the pain really quickly. They're also, believe it or not, them leaves are also good for insect bites as well. So if you get bitten by something, rub a bit of the sap onto where you've been bitten. It's also good for scalds, blisters, and sprains. So it's not just good for stinging nettles. It's also good for a few other things as well. But you'll always find it right next to nettles. Anyway, let's move on. Let's go and show you another plant which, if used correctly, will also work as a soother for insect bites as well. What's in the picture here, which I'm just poking around this thing, it's called Plantain, P-L-A-I-N-T-A-I-N, Plantain. I think that's how I'm pronouncing it. And would you believe it, this is really good for coughs, wounds, inflammations of the skin. It's good for dermatitis, and it's probably one of the best things for insect bites. You rub some of the sap onto the bite, and it'll soothe it in next to no time. Basically just crush the leaves up and apply. And it's also good for small wounds and cuts. But this is one of the major weeds that you want if you can find it. And like I say, you get bit, go and crush the leaves up, rub it onto the wound, and it should relieve the pain in next to no time. So I'm looking for some burdock, but I can't. I found some. Let me go and show you some of this. This is another thing which is well worth having on your plot as well. Well guys, what you're looking at here is burdock. It's not, You've heard of Dandelion and Burdock. Well, this is Burdock, and I can tell you this is got some fantastic properties. It's good for colds. It's good for increasing urinary flow. In other words, helps you pee better. It's great for reducing fevers. It's also can be used to fighting cancer. So you know. And good for joint pain, rheumatism, gout, bladder infections. It's also good for acne. So kids, this stuff here can get rid of them spots. So yeah, this is another one of these weeds which everybody pulls up and don't give a second thought to. Anyway, let's move on, because I've just mentioned something else. So I think the last thing I'm gonna talk about is the dandelion. Now I've got to go and find a few, so that's going to be fun. But we'll be right back with the last of these weeds what we're going to talk about today. What you're looking at there is the humble dandelion. Did you know it's good for treating skin conditions and inflammation? It's also good for the liver. There's plenty of other things what it's good for, but what I want to talk about is it's also good for telling whether the ground is solid or it's soft. Now dandelions will only grow in really compacted soil, so this tells me this patch of soil here is really compacted. You'll see it here for a couple of years and all of a sudden it'll disappear. It's because what it's done, it's actually broken the soil down. So this weed, what people pull up all the time, is actually doing a good job. It's actually breaking the soil up. And once it's broke it up enough, it doesn't like it, so what it does, it buggers off, and then you've got nice soil then. But you see that there, that tells you that it's the ground is really hard. But yeah, it's amazing what some of these weeds can actually do for you. Yeah, the humble dandelion. Anyway, let's get back and go and get a cup of coffee. I think we've talked enough about these bloody weeds. I thought just before we end, and we was going with the dandelions about the ground being hard. Here's another plant which will tell you the same thing. If you've got this clover, it tells you your ground is very hard, and all that's doing will break the soil down, and eventually it will disappear. But it's a bloody menace, and obviously if you can get it up, get it up. But it's also a great source for the honeybees. Honeybees are all over this in the when it's got flowers on like it has now. Well, yeah, here's another one of these indicators that tell you that your ground's too hard. So there you go, folks. Who would have believed it? The humble weed. Well, who was it? It was Henry VIII who started the surgeons up. Was it dentist surgeons? Yeah, some of the things I mentioned there, they was used on his legs for the abscesses on his legs and what have you. But yeah, it's amazing. Weeds, who would have thought? But oh, it's starting to blooming rain here. I think we're going to have to knock this one on the head. So anyway, I've got one more clip to show you, and it's an harvest of the tomatoes and cucumbers in this greenhouse. So let me show you doing that now. Well, guys, I'm doing a bit of harvesting today. Just getting a few of my tomatoes. They're starting to ripen, as you can see here. Mainly on this side are ripened. Ooh. So we've got a pile of them to have at it. I've got a few in a tray there. I'm going to have that big cucumber up there as well to give that smaller one a chance to grow as well. But yeah, it's that time of year, everything's starting to ripen, so we're going to have some of these in here. I mean, they look alright. Pull that one off there, look at that one there, absolute Bobby Dazzle. Some nice tomatoes there. These ones, these are even, look at these ones there. There we go. Beautiful yellow ones. He's got yellow ones and he's got red ones, as you can see there. I could have picked that better. That bloody bumblebee's driving me mad. It's going from flower to flower to flower. And I'm in its way, to be quite honest with you. There it is there. Right, let's get picking, and we'll be right back. Well, I think they're due for now. Some nice cucumbers, several different types of tomatoes there. Yep, nice crop, and there's still thousands of them in there, well, hundreds anyway. Right, let's get these on. So it's still raining, guys, and I'm getting wet. So this is where we're going to knock it on the head for this one. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment below if you know a weed which is pretty good at got healing properties. Leave a link in, let everyone know what it is. Another one, aloe vera. That's great for clotting. You know, you cut your hand, rub it on, clots the blood, stops it from you bleeding to death, and it also it's like an antibacterial. Anyway, as you see, we're getting wet, so that's where we'll end it. Thanks for watching, and goodbye for now. Bloody rain. Oh God.